The Boston Celtics will be battling up against the Brooklyn Nets. Against the team that has no business being the 7th seed. Y'all fought so hard for that 2nd seed. This is bad. It's a bad look. I do have Brooklyn in 7. I have Brooklyn in 7.
There's going to be problems for the Boston Celtics this year. I'm telling you.
Things would be different, but a first-round loss.
And a sweep. Boston, 4 in a row. After they lost in 5 to the Nets last year, they answer back with their 8th series sweep in franchise history, last done in the bubble against the Sixers. And Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant head into the offseason.
The Boston Celtics have just swept the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm left wondering, why didn't I see this from the beginning? What's so obvious to me now was oblivious to me a week and a half ago. The Celtics are the better, more structured team by far. They have great chemistry, great leadership, and a talent on the roster. But how specifically did the Boston Celtics shut down 2 of the most skilled players we have ever seen play this game? First, it starts off with coaching. On the Nets side, Steve Nash was clearly not fit to lead this team past Boston. He runs little to no plays, and all year the Nets' main game plan was to give the ball to Kevin Durant and Kyrie when in trouble and let them work. That may work against bad teams and decent teams, but elite teams will make it harder for those top guys to beat them. ISO ball can only do so much and only effective in certain situations. It is bad coaching strategy come postseason. Just look at some teams from the past that used the isolation play style to try to win a championship. The Houston Rockets with James Harden for a time would famously have Harden ISO, and if double team, he'll pass it to shooters, yeah. Did that work in the end? No. The OKC Thunder, who of course had KD on it. They would ISO at the top, and since many players and coaches didn't know how to stop the combo of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, they would get far, yes. But did that get them a chip? No. The Nets don't always use ISO ball. But in the face of adversity, which they faced a lot in this series, they would go to KD and Kyrie hoping they could save them. Steve Nash didn't have a plan B if that didn't work. As for the Celtics, their coach, Ime Udoka, was great all series long. He set up a beautiful yet simple defensive strategy of shutting down 2 superstars of Brooklyn. He wasn't going to let them single-handedly win. It almost happened in Game 1 with Kyrie dropping 39, but he was shut down for the rest of the series. Then it almost happened in Game 4 with KD's 39, but it was a little bit too late. As far as stopping them, he knew the refs would ease up come playoff time, so he set to have the Celtics play a little aggressive against Kevin Durant. Bump him, touch him up, get physical, and get up in his airspace. He knew KD has a wide dribble, so when he starts his dribble move, the Celtics would be there to steal or cause a turnover. Help defense was important for this aspect to work. If KD was one-on-one, double teams would come. If Kyrie was penetrating to the basket, players would crash to contest and block shots. Udoka knew Brooklyn didn't have the depth for the other guys to beat them, so they mainly hold in on the stars. They would trap both KD and Kyrie and make it extremely difficult for them to make the shot. This play right here from Game 1, with Kyrie trying to close it out, perfectly describes the Celtics defense. Kyrie was doubled and fouled everywhere, trapped and left with no vision to the basket. He's forced to kick out to KD with little time left on the shot clock for KD to get to his spots, which results in Tatum playing excellent defense to force a miss, which then led to the game-winning layup. This leads me to my next point on how the Celtics locked them up. The players. You can have the same defensive strategy of the Celtics, but it won't work if you don't have the players to execute it. Led by Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, the Celtics were the #1 ranked defense in the league, and it showed. Defense was like a virus that spread to every single Celtic player. Jason Tatum helped lock up Kevin Durant. Daniel Tice and Grant Hill came up with big defensive plays. Jaylen Brown came up with steal after steal. Al Horford played the best post defense and held his own on the perimeter. Every single person stepped up defensively to achieve this monumental feat. And you can't be a great defensive team without the chemistry, which the Celtics were built on this season. The Nets couldn't build the same chemistry. Between KD's injury, Kyrie being in and out the lineup due to his vaccine stance, their third star getting frustrated and wanting out, and his replacement never even playing a game, the Nets were outmatched in terms of cohesiveness. But I knew a good portion of this heading into this series. So why did I stupidly choose the Nets to win? Easy. I was blinded by the previous greatness of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, their heroics, their ability to take over games, their unmatched skill and talent. I thought their skill set and greatness would trump Boston's chemistry, coaching, and depth. However, Boston did the impossible. Not that the impossible was winning the series, no. The impossible was locking up two of the best offensive players to ever play the game. After his epic performance in Game 1, Kyrie was held to 15 points, 37% from the field, and a shocking 18% from three in the final 3 games. Kevin Durant shot 38% from the field, 33% from three, and averaged a playoff career high in turnovers, 5 a game. What the Boston Celtics accomplished was nothing short of spectacular. They forced both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, two players who always show up in big situations, who always show up in the playoffs, who are always clutch when it matters the most, to have their worst offensive performances in their historic playoff careers. And they did all of that without allowing a single victory. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, support the channel. If you want to go on our social media, our TikTok and our Instagram will be in the description down below. If you want more content, please leave a comment and tell us what's the next video you want.